Coach Bennett has come through like he always does. Tonight, we discuss his success and have a special guest joining us 2025 football commit, QB Bjorn Jurgensen. It's a hot one tonight. Next on the Cavalier Connection. All right, we are excited to welcome in tonight the future quarterback of the Who's, Bjorn Jurgensen. How are you doing tonight, Bjorn?
I'm doing really good. Thanks for having me.
That's awesome. We're happy to have you. So just getting right into it. So you're getting ready to finish up your junior year of high school. Do you have any specific summer plans?
Well, I'm doing my OV for the University of Virginia during June. So it's either going to be that second weekend or that third weekend of June. Still trying to plan it all out. And then just probably summer workouts with the team, getting better. And I think that's what I'm mostly going to be doing this summer.
Oh, cool. When do y'all start ramping up for your fall football season?
So after we get out of school, we have like a 2 week little just kind of rest and just you have that first 2 weeks to yourself, and then we kick off summer workouts, and I think we're in there probably 3-4 times a week maybe, and then that just goes all the way till August when we start training camp.
I can imagine the summer workouts are pretty hot where you're at.
Yeah, but so we're a morning team, like I said to you earlier.
Yeah.
So we get out. I wake up at 4:40 every morning, and our practice starts at 6. So where it's all dark outside, we don't get that Florida heat out there in the morning. It's
Right.
nice, and yeah, no, 'cause it's been getting hot. It's been getting real hot, and then we miss out on all the bad weather and the rain that happens in the afternoon.
Right.
So
yeah.
So summer workouts are also in the morning, so it's good.
There's a good work ethic there, so that's great. What do you see as your strengths as a quarterback?
I think my playmaking ability, like when a play breaks down, I think I can make a play out of it, scrambling or just keeping my eyes downfield and making just any throw I need to make.
Oh, Patrick Mahomes, like?
A little bit.
What areas are you hoping to improve on during your senior season?
I would say football IQ wise. So just timing, anticipation on routes, and just kind of making quicker decisions, just seeing the field better, I would say.
What's y'all's team look like for the upcoming fall? I saw you guys made regional final this year, I believe.
Yeah, we went to the third round of the playoffs and lost to Bulls out of Jacksonville. But I think this year our team's even better. We have a ton of returning guys. And this spring football season, we've kind of just been building off what we did at the end of last year. So I think we're going to have a really strong team going into this fall.
Nice. Jay, what you got for him?
So, Bjorn, you said that your official visits be in June. Have you been to the campus at all yet?
Yes, sir. Yeah, me and my dad went 2 weekends ago.
Okay,
we loved it.
Yeah.
No, we loved it. It was beautiful. We loved everything about it. Yes, sir.
Now, did you get to go into the new football facility, or was it still closed for final touch-up?
It was still closed for final touch-ups. I think they're getting it done in honestly, I think it's a couple days now.
Yeah, I think you'll be able to go in when you do your official.
Yeah, because when I was there, it was they said they had 39 days left until they get to move into it and everything. And we saw all the plans for it. They showed it to us, and it's just top notch, best of the best facility right there.
Oh yeah. So getting into your quarterback play, is there a particular NFL quarterback or college quarterback that you like to study or try to emulate as you're playing?
Yeah, I would say throwing mechanics wise, I would say Aaron Rodgers, because that dude can just sling it. He's he's a really good rotational thrower, and he's just able to generate a lot of velocity on the football through just rotation. and not like it doesn't even look like he's trying hard when he throws. And then
Right.
like gameplay, I would say like more of like a um kind of like yeah, like a Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, like just trying to be able to make plays with my legs and also being able to like roll out and make difficult throws on like off balanced things.
Right. Yeah, you got to be able to do that in today's game for sure.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Um, so correct me if I'm wrong. So you visited UVA. Okay, so we had on the 26th of April, I guess, and were offered on the 30th and committed on May 2nd. So, what drove your commitment and that time frame?
Yeah, so I would say like we went to the campus and like I instantly felt like this was a place like I'd love to be at once we got there. And just sitting down with Coach Lamb and Coach Elliott and just talking about their vision for the program and how I'd fit in, I think was a really big part of it too. And I've always been talking to Power 5 schools, and me and my family sat down, we made a very like informed decision. Talked for like an hour and a half and we were just like why would we pass up on this great opportunity? And like if you know, like so like why would I wait any longer if I just know that I can lock myself in here into a place I'd love to be at?
Right. Yeah, that's awesome. And we might be a little bit biased, just a smidge, but I don't think you could choose a better place. I mean,
Oh
you
yeah.
touched on the facilities being top notch, and the jumbotron's going to be about the size of the football field almost this year. When you go out
Oh
and
yeah.
you're seeing that. So when you get there, obviously that'll be waiting on you. Just a lot of improvements. Coach Elliott just has all the momentum in the world right now.
Mhm.
With the program. So now that we have you on board, any guys around you or in the country that you're kind of recruiting and you think we might have a shot with, they're interested?
Um, I've started a little bit, but not like that much yet because I kind of just happened also like quick and everything.
Right.
Um, I've recently though just like been trying to connect with the guys that are committed already and try to talk to them and just get to know who I'll be playing with in the future.
Yep. Jack, who was you interviewed
Isaiah Robinson.
Isaiah Robinson, who's will be one of the receivers in your class, I believe.
Yeah. Mhm.
Big 4-star kid. in
4-star
Virginia.
Trinity Episcopal. Yep.
Yeah. I'm sure you guys will hook up lots over the years.
Oh yeah.
So have you decided what you want to study while you're at Virginia yet?
I think I want to go into like a business route, and
Okay.
Coach Lamb was talking to me about it, and it's the business school is like really good, I think, at Virginia, and it's just something I think I'd want to be a part of.
Yeah, one of the things that you may not even be aware of, and they hopefully they use this as a recruiting tool, but every year they bring in, basically companies from around the world and conduct like mock interviews with the guys, and they really prepare the guys not only for the right now and the time that you're in Virginia for football, but really for your entire life. And you talked about your business degree coming from you, like you get that business degree from UVA and the connections that you make and the obviously what you learn, hopefully football works out, but football careers, as can at the most, look at Tom Brady. He's still got a lifetime to live, so that degree
Oh
is
yeah.
super valuable. And I just know you'll do great things there. Jack?
Yeah.
Yep. So what role has your previous youth coaches, parents, or even high school coaches, would you say, what kind of role have they played in your academic success as well as your football development?
I would say that definitely all the coaches I've had throughout the years have all it's been student athlete. So student first and then athlete second. So they always push me in the classroom to be the best of the best. And especially being a quarterback of the football team, I feel like I should lead by example and should be getting good grades to kind of like just show to the other guys like what it should be like, what the standard is. And I think ever since a young age, my coaches have always pushed me and helped develop me to become who I am today.
Awesome. What would you say is your biggest hobby, or what do you kind of like to do in your free time outside of football in the classroom?
So I would say right now I'm big on golf.
Golf.
Yeah, so yeah, this past weekend I went out there, just hit it around a little bit. I'm getting better. I just started in like September, but I'm getting there. It's been fun.
Yeah.
Just something I'd like to do on my free time.
Now, Bjorn,
Absolutely.
do you have a VR headset?
No.
Oh, okay, I was gonna say because the podcast crew here, we have been known to play quite a bit of golf on virtual reality on the
Really?
Quest. Oh, it's great.
Save a lot of money and save a lot to walking.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. I need to
it-
look into that.
It is amazing. Golf Plus. You can talk to us after the interview's over if you're interested. But yeah,
Oh
it's a
yeah,
good
for
time.
sure.
I tell you what, though, I'd be a hair nervous playing golf in Florida. I'll be where my balls go. It'd be Gator country. I'll be come up and a Gator be done pull me in the water.
It'd be like Happy
Yeah, no.
Gilmore.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you see the videos on like social media of like the alligators just walking on the course down here.
Oh, I
Oh.
know.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it yet, but I'm hoping I don't see it.
As long
you
as the
been in
Gators
Florida
in
your
the
whole life?
fairway, I'm safe.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Have you been in Florida your whole life?
So I moved to Florida from Denver, Colorado when I was
wow.
in like 4th grade, and then I used to live in Virginia.
Oh,
From, like,
awesome.
Okay.
So
What
I was
part?
born
What
in
part of
George.
Virginia?
I was Northern Virginia, so like Alexandria. I was born in
Okay.
Georgetown Hospital
Okay.
Okay.
in DC, and then I lived there until like kindergarten. Then I moved to Colorado and then Florida.
Okay.
Yeah, there's so many things in Florida, like animal wise, that are playing golf. They're all around you.
Oh yeah.
So another thing to go with kind of that hobby question. So as you may or may not know, the NCAA football game on the consoles, the gaming consoles, is finally set to come out this summer. So is that something you're going to purchase? And are you excited about potentially being in that game in the future?
Oh yeah, I'm definitely gonna purchase that. Yeah, like I remember playing the NCAA 14 when I was
Yep.
really
We're playing
little, and
all the time over here.
Yeah, I'd play with my dad, and dude, it was just so much fun. Like, there's
Mhm.
something different about it, you know. Like, you got Madden and you got that, and then it's just like NCAA is just I feel like it's so much better. And
Yeah.
I think playing in that game would be such a cool experience. Like, because you always, when you're little, you always look up and you're like, dude, I want to be in this game one day. Like, and when those dreams come true, I think it'll be really cool.
Yeah.
We interviewed Tyler Neville. He's transfer tight end from Harvard, and he said he was talking about that game, and he said as soon as he heard it was coming out, he was calling the coaches at Virginia to ensure he was on the game. It was that important to him.
That's funny.
Yeah, I couldn't be more excited for that game to come out. It's been 10 years in the making, so
Oh yeah.
it's there's not going to be any other games I'll be playing in that time frame. But moving on here for our final question, is there any message that you'd like to send out to all of the Wahoo fans listening that are hoping for really good times to come in the future with you?
Well, I'd like to say that I'm ready to work and I'm ready to get after it and get Virginia winning again and go Hoos.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Before we finish, I do want to say, Bjorn, you're an impressive guy to me. I appreciate you coming on and just listening to you. You just display exactly what UVA athletics and UVA football is all about. I think we're very fortunate to have you as a part of the program. We're looking forward to you joining the team in 25. So I just want to throw it out there. I know you're a young guy still, and you seem way mature beyond your years. You're very impressive, and I've really enjoyed talking to you.
Yeah, tell those
All right,
coaches that
thank
keep
you.
calling you, hey, my commitment's 100. Don't even bother.
Oh yeah, I got you guys.
Right.
We appreciate you coming,
yeah.
Bjorn.
Jack, you gonna take us out here?
Yeah, we'd like to thank you for coming on our Cavalier Connection podcast. We wish you luck for your senior season at Bishop Moore Catholic. Have a great summer. We look forward to talking with you again, potentially when you become a Who.
Yes, sir. Thanks for having me.
Talking with you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Bjorn.
So we want to thank Bjorn Jurgensen for joining us tonight. Excited to get that young man in the 2025 class. It's hard to imagine that guy is really just a junior in high school right now. Listening to him talk, So mature for his age. I know in Florida it's hot, and so those morning workouts in the summer are necessary. But good Lord, 4:45, 4 o'clock in the morning, teenagers doing that. Jack, is that you?
Nope.
Yeah, he's an impressive guy. You can tell he's got a quarterback mind. I'd love to think we have Patrick Mahomes, a combination of Patrick Mahomes and Aaron Rodgers coming to Charlottesville in 25.
Yeah, when you model your game after those two, those are good guys to model your game after. And like you said, Jeff,
Yeah.
super impressive kid, very likable. I think, as a quarterback, you've got to be somebody that the guys want to follow. And he just seems like a good dude, which is at quarterback, that's important, because you can be a prima donna who thinks you're better than everybody because you're the quarterback. But that's not real leadership. And I think Coach Elliott, he's just hitting home run after home run with these guys that are down to earth, humble, want to work. I loved J.J. McCarthy, what they said, when he committed to Michigan, he told the guys that were in his class, if you're coming here to party and chase girls, don't bother, go somewhere else, because I'm here to win a championship. And I could just see him being that type of kid. He seems super dedicated to the craft.
Yeah, and Bjorn, he just looks like a reflection of Coach Elliott. And like you said, humble guy who's just looking to put the work in. He wasn't talking about this summer going to the beach, going to Disney. I mean, he's playing golf and just talk about, I'm going to work. And
just got to avoid those bunkers and wood and being close to the water because
and the alligators. Yep. Mm-hmm. He demonstrates the model of a student athlete at UVA. So that's gonna be great. It just seems like every guy that Coach Elliott seems to get, it seems to be a very similar story when they all say why they committed. They loved what they heard from Coach Elliott when he explained his plan and how they plan to have that guy into their program, into the game plans, and just the future of Virginia football. It seems that message is resonating with a lot of the guys. So it's great to hear.
So I did want to move on and talk a little basketball. And we are recording this on Wednesday night. This will be released tomorrow night, so Thursday night at 9:00. But about 5 minutes ago, Trent Perry announced his commitment to UCLA. So not really surprised about that, but definitely, you still had to check in and make sure he didn't hit us with a surprise UVA. Any thoughts, Jay, on the Trent Perry commitment to UCLA?
Yeah, like you said, I'm not surprised. I had heard that there were some schools coming in late trying to flip him. And it looks like they weren't successful. I think ultimately his parents may have drove his decision. I mean, based on the rumors, again, this is not me knowing Trent Perry, but usually when the internet has some rumors like that, there's some truth to them. And, what parent doesn't want to see their kid play college basketball?
Right.
If he'd have come to Virginia, maybe when Virginia goes to Cal or Stanford or something, you catch them. But, no ill will. Wish him well. The question I would pose to you guys is, we have one scholarship left with Perry, and Chance Mallory is the big get. He's like the big fish. If we had gotten Perry, does that turn Mallory off because they play the same position? So by not getting Perry, do we, increase our chances, at landing Mallory?
Yeah, I mean, that's a great question and hard to answer. So Chase Mallory, and we may have talked about this. I'm sorry, Chance Mallory. We may have talked about this last week. He's a smaller guy too, isn't he? Isn't he what, 5'10"?
5'10" is what they list him as, which means he's probably 5'8", 5'9". Most of the time, it's a couple inches added to them high school height charts.
That's Kie Clark.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But I tell you
He's a
what,
sco-
he's a scorer. He
Right.
seems, shoots the ball really well. Won a 3-point
Right.
contest that I forget where it was, but it was, a lot of the top guys, and he won a 3-point shooting contest against those guys. He's close to
Yeah.
home. I know we're going to talk about this kid in a minute, the transfer in from Vanderbilt. But he left Stab and went away for a year. And now he's coming back home, I would say home to UVA. I would hate to see us lose Mallory to a school. I've heard Maryland is the top opposition. So, Vanderbilt and Maryland ain't quite the same. Vanderbilt's a lot further than Maryland. But I would hate to see a kid like him go away and then after a year say, oh, yeah, I didn't really like it. Because it's well known that he has a great relationship with Coach Bennett and the staff.
Right.
He just pops in at practice.
Right.
And so you feel like, why would you go away from that? Other
Right.
than if you believe some of the stuff that gets put out on social media, well, Tony's only got 2 years on his contract. Why are they not extending him? Coaches use that against him in recruiting. He's only got 2 years left on his contract. He may not even be there your junior year, your sophomore year even maybe. So I wish Tony would, kind of nip that in the bud. And, they're always going to use our style of play against us. And until he comes out and changes it, like he says is going to happen this year, that's a valid point to point out to a recruit. Hey, do you really want to go to a school where, you may not touch a ball for the first 2 weeks of practice? Like Akil said when his dad, Coach Bennett, Senior Bennett was there, it was like 2 weeks of straight defense, didn't touch a ball. So,
Yeah. Well, so Coach Bennett, he's been working overtime. We are pro Tony Bennett. In Tony we trust. And all I was pointing out was Bennett's hot. Bennett's on fire. No reason to worry. We had a little bit of worries of not getting some of these earlier on portal commitments, but we also said that when it's all said and done, Tony Bennett's going to get guys in there. And, when it's all said and done, he wasn't bottom of the barrel guys. I mean, these were some big time transfer portal gets. We start off with the first one he got that opened the floodgates was Jalen Worley, the point guard from Florida State. And, I mean, that's a big guard, too. We got some size on this team coming in this year. You get a guy who was a starting point guard in the ACC at Florida State. This is a huge get. And also that Jalen Worley, I believe, is the first transfer definitely in the Tony Bennett era that's he's gotten from another ACC school.
yeah.
So, and I'm going to get y'all's thoughts, but then he followed that up with another one. And this one was TJ Powers out of Duke, who Virginia finished, I believe, second when they were recruiting him out of high school. So that was a huge get. I believe he's the highest ranked out of high school recruit that Tony Bennett's ever had.
That is correct.
What was he ranked? Like top 10, number 10 or something?
He was a little lower than 10, but he was up there.
Right.
I want to say he was around 15.
Got you. Yeah, but just a huge get. And then you follow that one up the same day with which, rumors were out there, and he came in. It was Elijah Saunders out of San Diego State. He's a 3 or 4 position, playing the 3 or 4.
Yep.
Another big guy. He's 6'7", 6'8", I believe, Jay?
6'8".
6'8".
Yep.
And then they got Carter Lang out of Vanderbilt. And he's currently walking on, I believe.
That's what the rumor is, that he's not going to take a scholarship.
Now, I think if Trent Perry would have committed to Virginia, with Trent Perry not committing to Virginia, there's a possibility he may get that scholarship. I was reading something about that.
I guess it's possible, but I think the team would love to add another guard, somebody who can fill it up. A 3-point shooter.
I agree. I wish we could have got that kid from Campbell or so. He was
Yeah,
a
has
shooter,
he committed?
scorer. He committed. He
Where-
went. He committed to. I want to say like yesterday or day before. I
Okay, I
forget
didn't
where
see
he
that.
committed to. And then real quick
Hopefully-
before we get on this one, Leon Bond this week he committed to Northern
Iowa.
Iowa.
Northern Iowa.
So we wish Leon the best. I wish he could have stuck around with this program, but we wish him the best. But thoughts you got? What kind of thoughts you guys have? We'll start off. Jalen Worley. We talked about this last week, but what's Jalen Worley going to bring to the Cavaliers?
Well, I mean, you lost Reese, and I mean, how many minutes does that free up? And not only the minutes, but the leadership. And I think probably that's what attracted Tony to him the most because he's a defensive guard. He's a big guard. He's a distributing guard. He is a guard that they will lay off of on the perimeter. Last year he was a 14% 3-point shooter. Yep, I said that right. 14% from three.
Yeah, no, they laid off of him.
Yeah, completely laid off, like a Ben Simmons, which is probably the comp, right? I mean,
6'7" point guard.
Yeah, I mean, big guy, but Tony has a way of taking those guys, and we don't know what the offense is going to look like this year, so we'll see. I mean, he's not going to shoot the 3 ball, which I'm a proponent of having 5 guys out there that can at least be a threat.
Mm-hmm.
So I wasn't when he was the first guy, and we weren't, we didn't know we were getting these other guys right after. I was in the middle of writing an article, and it was, if this is the big catch, then we're in trouble. Because I think he's going to be a good player for us. Don't get me wrong, but he doesn't give us what we need. I didn't think he was a move the needle player. But when you bring in a guy like TJ Powers, and then the kid from San Diego State as well, now you're talking. Now you're talking. You've got some real talent that's coming in. The kid from Vanderbilt, Carter Lang, he was just a bonus. Like nobody knew he was even like I hadn't heard his name from anybody to say he may be interested. So
it surprised me when I logged in, and I'm like, well, dang, we got somebody else.
And he was a 4-star kid.
Correct.
I mean, he's not. He was a top 100 recruit in ESPN.
Virginia's got 7 guys on the roster now. I think they were top 100 recruits out of high school, the most in Tony Bennett's era.
Yeah, so there's no Tony doesn't have talent, But today's game has changed. You've got, regardless of what TJ is going to be huge because he can put the ball in the hole.
Right.
He didn't get a whole lot of run at Duke, but we know why. I mean, they had an experienced team, and then the guys, they brought in that are freshmen this year, they're top 10 high school players and a few transfers. I mean, he saw the writing on the wall. But at Virginia, he's going to get a chance to really do something.
And crazy enough, we all knew who TJ Powers was due to him being recruited for Virginia. And when he announced he was coming into portal, and I don't recall which reporter was reporting who TJ Powers had heard from, he didn't even mention Virginia.
No, and I was in a little bit, not a Twitter beef, but somebody had said, well, you're not talking about Powers. And I was like, well, I think we're out on him because I saw the list of schools and we weren't on it.
Yeah.
And if you remember, I think I mentioned this on the last podcast, that guy, whoever he was, said, well, yeah, but I've heard otherwise. And I remember I said, well, I hope I'm wrong. I always hope that I'm wrong. I always want what's best for the program. And he is that. So, hey, kudos to – I can't remember. I wish I could give credit, but there's no chance. We get into so much conversation on Twitter. X that
Yeah.
unless it's the old ball coach.
Right.
I can't remember.
Yeah. Elton and the old ball coach.
Yeah,
But,
that's true. Elton's faithful.
Yeah. But, remember there was the crystal ball projection that came out for Trent Perry. You recall that?
Yeah, that was the week of the spring game for football.
Was it the week of the spring game? No, I think there was a crystal ball. We thought we were getting him, and then we thought we weren't getting him. And then they had crystal ball out just recently, Trent Perry. But the conversation on X was we think there was a mistake, and it was actually, I can't recall if that wasn't TJ Powers or if that was after we got Worley or if that was Worley. Like they had misheard something, like we're getting somebody. And they thought it was Trent Perry, and it turned out it was any of the names above that I just mentioned.
Yeah, and I hope we're not done. Like I said, we
could use a guard, a scoring guard, somebody who can shoot.
Yeah.
Yes.
We need somebody, just a knockdown shooter to pair with Isaac that can go out and stroke it. Because none of the guys outside Power and Powers can stroke it, but Saunders isn't known for being a shooter. He's not a bad shooter.
Right.
I think he was around 33% for three this past year.
Can Powers play back to the basket?
I mean, I don't know the answer to that, honestly. I'm sure he can with his size, and I don't know what his measurables are. I think he's listed at 6'9", but looking at him, his wingspan looks like it might be longer than that.
Right.
He looks bigger to me than that. When I was watching some of his highlights, like when he shoots the ball, he's got the ball way up over his head. Like he's got that good shooting form. Like you should be taught.
Right.
He's textbook. So
yeah, like me. I don't know what's so funny about that. Yeah, the team has got a lot of size to it. You got Buchanan, and you got Powers, you got 6'7" at point guard, and then the question is, how does your lineup fill out? You got McNeely, who's what's McNeely 6'4"?
I think he's 6'4".
6'4". And then you just wonder how they're going to fill in this lineup. You've got you still got Gertrude, who's 6'4", right? 6'2".
Yeah, 6'4".
6'4".
I think he might be 6'2". We just took a visit too. Before I forget, Jeff, we did take a visit from a guy named I think his name is Day Adams from Kansas State, point guard.
Oh yeah, I did see that.
Yep. And so a lot of interest in him from a lot of big time schools. Whether he's serious, I mean, he visited, so obviously he's seriously considering us. Whether we get him or not remains to be seen. But I don't think we're done. I do think we will use that last scholarship on someone other than Carter Lang.
Well, the conclusion that I've come to, though, is, as we've been saying, in Tony we trust, and Tony's come through, and now he's got a lot of talent on this roster, and it's a matter of how's this talent going to work together. Another positive with what he's gotten, other than Worley, we've gotten guys who have a lot of eligibility left.
Right.
And so if we can keep these guys around and develop these guys to where potentially guys stick around to play a senior season or at least a junior season, learning the Tony Bennett defense and potentially a little bit of a change to the offense. I mean, we could really benefit and have a shot at making a run. I think Bennett, the way the portal goes now, guys are here for a year, they're out. We get guys in the portal. We've been getting these 4th and 5th year guys who it's a 1-year deal. And so, just this year, Minor, he didn't get on the floor till mid to late season. Whereas now we can develop these guys, and hopefully this turns into another title run in the future.
Yep.
But
I was gonna say with one thing I also like about this adding this many players and the roster turnover that we've had is that you kind of get a pass on your postseason failures. The team, not Tony,
right.
because nobody's going to look at next year's team and say, well, Virginia, they're this, they're that. I mean, like if you do that, you're not doing your homework because this is a totally different team. Really, IMAC. I'm trying to think of who else is going to contribute.
Tane,
Yeah, but I mean, Tane was
Gertrude.
a marginal role player. Buchanan's a role player.
Of guys who did play a decent amount of minutes.
Yeah.
Tane, of course, like you said, McNeely was the guy.
Right.
Tane and then Rhodey played a lot of minutes, and I don't know what his role is going to be on this team. He is just going to be a junior. Some of his stuff potentially was mental. I'd like to think he'd come out and shoot next year. I don't rule it out. He's going to be a junior. He's 6'6". He's a big guy. He can get his shot up. His shot doesn't look bad.
No.
He just misses it. So I feel like a lot of that is mental. Because if we could get the shooter Rhodey like he was at St. Thomas, or I believe that's where he was at, if we could get that shooter, that's a huge addition. I didn't think his defense was bad.
No, he was. There is a world where he is a good player.
I'm just saying I'm not giving up on Rhodey. He's a junior. He's played 1 year at Virginia. It'd be different if I saw his jump shot as ugly because his jump shot looks good.
It's a little flat, but form-wise, not bad.
And another thing with Rhodey that he was able to do, but I think a lot of his game was mental. Once you start missing shots, he got to the basket, and then he would pass the ball. Pass. What's that?
I said, and then he'd pass. Like he'd be right there and then pass.
Or every once in a while he'd decide last minute to shoot it, and he missed because he take a crazy shot. Like you got to the basket, be confident in yourself, go up and put the ball up.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. I am not giving up on Rhodey. I haven't been the biggest fan. I haven't said the most positive things about him, but he was a sophomore, and if I was comparing the jump shots of Gertrude and Rhodey's jump shot looks much better than Gertrude's.
Yeah,
I think Gertrude is an athlete, so we know he brings something else to the table. I'm just saying we need a shooter. We're talking about getting a shooter, hopefully in the portal, a guard who can shoot. And I'm just hoping that maybe somehow that guy's on the roster right now, Andrew Rhodey.
Have you
Virginia
heard
fans out there? What's that?
Has anybody heard anything about Dante Harris? I saw something. I want to say it was on the Sabre that he may have pulled out of the portal. That doesn't mean he's coming back to Virginia, by the way, but maybe it means he retired from basketball or something. I'm trying to find the article.
When I was doing research for the ACC huddle, and last week I discussed that transfer portal, they did not have Dante Harris. Yeah, he pulled out of the transfer portal. Let me look. They did not have him listed. It just says he's pulled out of the transfer portal. It's on the Sabre.
Okay. So I wonder what that means.
I'm looking to see if there's any other information on that. You know who I'm sure knows? Miss Franchuli.
I was going to say Jackie.
Jackie probably knows.
That's interesting. Yeah, I honestly, I wish him the best of luck. That's how I feel, thank you for your contributions and good luck in your future endeavors.
All I can find is he's pulled out of the transfer portal. We entered on April 19th, and then I've noticed that he's pulled out, so I don't know what that means, Jay.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
I hate to sideline the podcast for Dante, but yeah, I mean, just something to keep in the back of your mind. I mean,
Correct.
We still need guard help, in my opinion. I mean, we don't know what we have with Bliss. I mean, he could be awesome. I mean, you do have Worley.
What about Sharma?
I think
Sharma's
Sharma's
a
a
shooter.
candidate to redshirt. I really
Okay.
do. Now, maybe not. I mean, a lot will depend, I think, on how they come in and play in the early season practices and whatnot. I mean, you think about guys that, with Tony, I can't think of a transfer of anyone who's transferred out that played really meaningful minutes. Like they were like one of the top players. He tends to keep those guys.
Yeah, no, there's not one. I mean, we know what's my man's name? He went to North Carolina, then he's gone to Hawaii. You know what I'm talking about, big man.
Justin.
Yes.
We
I
talked
can't say
about
his
this,
name.
I don't know, 3 or 4 podcasts ago, but he wasn't like a major player for us.
Oh no, that's what I'm saying. Like he transferred out, he hasn't done anything.
The biggest name I can think of that gave us anything was the kid that went to Iowa State.
Yes.
And he was a stud at Iowa State.
Yep.
Mhm.
He didn't fit
he was
in
pretty
that.
good for us.
Yeah, and so he was at the beginning of Bennett's era, or was he later?
No, he was definitely Bennett. But anyway, I'm just thinking if we get these guys in, I think, I do worry a little bit about Richardson because of the bigs that we got. Like you almost feel for him a little bit because he waited his turn, and now we've got 3 other bigs that are coming in.
You talking about Robinson?
I'm sorry, Robinson. Yeah. So I hope
think that they got to find some minutes for that guy. And I'm saying that I'm going off of YouTube highlights and
right.
Twitter highlights.
Right. Same thing with Buchanan. Like I know they say these guys like Powers doesn't play the 5, and these guys don't play 5. But in the game of basketball today, a lot of teams just go small ball. So yeah, he would play the 5 in that instance. And so you knock some of your bigs off the court. But we'll see. I'm excited. It was a great week for Tony. He needed it. I think the fans needed it. We needed it. I mean, we still maintained in Tony we trust. However,
I maintained in Tony we trust.
Well, I think we all did, Jack. I mean, ultimately, my fear is that Tony will not be the coach in 5 years, and I want him to be the coach in 5 years. That's really my fear.
But,
I don't know why he would continue to coach and deal with this. But I mean, we're happy he's there.
Love of the game.
Love of the game, right? Yeah. There's many things outside of the game that could take some of your love away.
Bronco though, did you see I don't know if you've looked at any of the interviews he's done since he left us. In one of them, they said, "How long did it take you to realize you were going to coach again? Like how long away from being out of Virginia, away from the team?" And he said, "I knew the next day. Like I knew the next day I wasn't done because I just knew I missed it already." So I think Tony would probably be the same way. He's a basketball lifer. His dad was, obviously a great coach, and I mean he could retire tomorrow and be in the Hall of Fame, but there's no reason to do that. He could literally go down as one of the all-time greats. He's Virginia's Coach K. He's Virginia's Dean Smith. He is that guy.
Right. Yeah. I say in the ACC, I mean, now that, Coach K is retired, Roy Williams is gone. Dean Smith, obviously, that's before Tony was in the ACC. I mean, this is his conference.
Jim Boeheim's gone.
He's the senior.
Yeah.
But anyway, great week for Tony. We're thrilled with what's happening in UVA basketball this week. Quick mention, baseball, another nice win today. They I think they beat George Washington 18-5. A lot of home runs.
Yeah.
Our guy from Western Branch did hit a home run today.
Yeah.
Really?
I saw that.
Oh, boy.
We also
Yeah,
broke the single season record for
Yes.
home runs in a season. So,
Yep.
and they still got
Yep.
quite a few games left. So, they
Yep.
should put that record that they just broke last year. You
Right.
know,
The
pretty
offense
far
has been
out.
ridiculous. So
Yeah.
other
And then
than that,
you got the
Go ahead.
lacrosse teams this weekend, both playing
Yep.
home games in the first round of the NCAA tournament. The women play Friday, I want to say at 3. The men are Saturday at noon. So, big time opportunities to get, NCAA tournament wins at Klockner. The women's softball team, ACC tournament this week. I think they open with Clemson. I think they're in the tournament. I mean, the 4 seed in the ACC. You almost have to be, right?
yeah, I would think so.
So excited for that. I can't wait to watch some softball. It's always exciting, but we've never been in it.
Right.
So to have, have your team in it, that's exciting.
So yeah, it's a great time to be a Who. Excited tonight we were to have Bjorn Jurgensen on, 2025 commit. Jack, can you take us out tonight?
Sure. So as always, be sure to follow us on all the social medias at Talk UVA Sports on X and at Cavalier Connection on everything else, whether it's Facebook, YouTube, Spotify, anything else. And other than that, any closing thoughts, guys?
No. Go Who's. Everything Jay just said, all the sports that are coming up this weekend. That's next. Hopefully, we got a lot of victories to talk about.
Yeah, go Who's, get it done.
Go Who's.